Oh, you on
Hillary?
Facebook Live? It's your boy Q. Listen, we have the minister in the building. He's about to bless the people tonight.
7569. Thank you, Hillary. Come through.
Make sure you guys stay tuned in because he's about to drop some knowledge
about this. Give us a prayer about this election.
Please, can you bless the people? Bless the people.
But seriously, y'all, stay tuned in. We're super duper proud of this man, and we going in right now. Stay tuned. Q
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
2.
What's up, everybody? It's WTNT's Q in the Streets. You are in here with your favorite crew. We are about to have a heart attack, but thank God the man above sends a man of his word.
A prayer, the man of the cloth.
To come in here and rain down on me. Rain down on me. We got
stuff I don't know.
You don't know Melodies from Heaven?
That's like early 90s.
Minister Winfield, you know Melodies from Heaven, right?
I'm just
Take me in. You look like you hit a mean rain.
The tenor section.
Yes.
On bass. I don't sing the soprano.
Oh, well, I hear you. You guys, we have Minister Jonathan Winfield in the building. We are so glad to have you in here with us. We already debriefed him. I asked him, what did he want to go by? Some people call him Jonathan. Some people call him John. Enrique's going to call him Minister Whitfield. I asked him, has he ever been called deacon? Is that disrespectful? And we're going to stick with Minister Winfield. We're going to stick with Minister Winfield. So, Minister Winfield, you are from South Carolina.
Yes.
I don't know if we've gotten to the presidential election in South Carolina, but do you think Hillary or Trump will take that?
The Republicans usually take South Carolina, but Trump might take it.
Mm.
So he might take it because they real strict in South Carolina like that.
Yeah.
They don't be backing off.
I'm from Alabama, and you see that we just took that L.
Yeah.
It's so hurtful. You just think we shall overcome one day, and we don't.
But it's not where you're from, it's where you are.
Amen, because I heard that Georgia might just take this Democratic vote. Really? Because ever since 2012, actually, Minister Winfield, I didn't mean to take anything off of you. I'm just very passionate about this election. I apologize about that. But I heard since 2012, Georgia's actually transitioning into a Democratic state. So that's exciting to be here, and we actually turned blue somewhere in the South. I'm ecstatic about that. I'm ready to celebrate.
I really thought that Alabama would finally turn blue, though. I'm just a little.
No, they are stuck within their ways.
So they y'all gonna live on from the 60s and 70s and still stay red? Good gracious.
Well, Minister Winfield.
Yes.
Whitfield. Sorry.
Yeah.
You should have just let me call you Deacon John. Minister Whitfield,
yes.
Thank you so much for being here and taking a break out of your busy schedule. I do see that you are a community activist,
Yes.
a youth mentor,
Yes.
inspirational speaker,
Yes.
social justice, an African American history lecturer.
Yes.
Lecturer. You said
Lecturer.
Okay.
It's my little word.
You do. So where do you do all of this teaching?
Really in the communities, man. We have a lot of community events going on in the West End. That's where I live right now. In the AUC.
Okay.
School over there. So.
Where'd you go?
ITC.
Okay.
Denominational Theological Center.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long.
It is.
But that's why he said ITC.
It's one of those things you gotta be like.
Listen, because I knew he was going to say, like, Morehouse.
HBCU.
Clark.
So
It's HBCU?
Yeah, so
Shout
we
out.
studied the Bible and we studied religion from a black perspective. You know,
Oh,
okay.
So we're very with the social
Farrakhan?
Yeah, stuff like that. He spoke last year at ITC.
Jeez, I like stuff like that.
So, Mr. Whitfield, being that you are a inspirational leader, being that you are an educator,
Yes.
when it came down to this voting, seeing that this Trump and Hillary, I say, is almost like electing the lesser of two evils. How do you feel about this presidential election?
Well, man, this president, it's funny because it is like selecting the lesser of two evils because, you know, out of all the elections, we have the two worst choices out of all the elections. So it's almost like, what are you going to choose? So really you have to choose, you have to look at different things that they stand for.
Right.
You have to pick on that.
Right.
And just hone in on that and kind of not really forget about, but forget about some of the other things that they done. But the black community, we really can't forget about some of the things.
There's nothing you can forget about.
It's still affecting us.
Exactly.
Now, as far as like with Hillary, a lot of people want to forget about what she's done. I would be okay with her if she gets in office and then she repair some of the things she did with the 3 strikes on her husband.
Right.
She takes some of those things back. I'll be okay with her.
Yeah.
You know, she can be forgiven.
Right.
You know, you're gonna go back in there and retract those things.
Right.
Then let's go.
Which she very well may, because you know, sometimes you have to be in the now to make those decisions. It's just like a bad relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you leave that relationship and come back to it, you now know what you did wrong.
Right.
So I really think that this may be her opportunity to rectify some of her wrongs. But I still say you can't forget, of course. But I don't want people holding that against her, because again, she may have been involved with the three strikes act, but again, putting her up against Trump.
But you want to know something crazy? As I stated before, and let me know, Minister Whitfield, if I'm wrong, call me out on it, okay? I let everybody outside of the game. But I do feel like if Hillary would have stuck to her guns, if she would have ran a campaign as a presidential candidate instead of trying to be a social media hit, trying to follow up behind Trump, I feel like we would have went more towards her. With us knowing that she had a part in the 3 Strikes Act. If she would have brought that up in one of her debates, if she would have brought that up in one of the places that she spoke at, instead of trying to take shots at Trump and try to maintain that popular look, I feel like more people will be behind her, because she's trying to entertain a group of people who probably didn't even vote. You know what I'm saying? But the people who are educated, the people who are like, help me follow you. I want to follow you, but you're not giving me anything because you're trying to play Trump's game when I'm trying to vote for you because I feel like you're more in a mature game. I feel like you're a better presidential candidate. So do you feel genuinely, if Hillary would have came in and not entertained Trump at all, would you be more on her side?
A little bit. I want her to talk about more, because I am a black man, so I'm for the candidate who's speak to my people's issues. Yes. You know, stuff that we deal with every day. And she kind of speaks to those issues, but she kind of flies around it a little bit with not really going into it. It's like symbolism. Right. Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But how are you going to do it? What you really going to say about it? Right. Like, one thing we're dealing with right now is police brutality.
Exactly.
Yes.
Education in our communities. Like, we don't have proper education for our youth. So they talk about these things, but they talk about it in terms of like minority. You know. So when you say minority, you group black people, you group white women, you group Mexicans. And you don't specifically, can get it out. Specifically, I got you. Hear me out. Specifically, go to our people. You go to everybody else but us. So I think a lot of the candidates just scared to say, African Americans, black people, we're gonna do this specifically for you. Right. This is what we're gonna do. So I need to hear her say more on that.
That's when I think that when they side with people, when they side with races like that, then the race that isn't put into that group. Yeah. Then they probably think that they're going to lose their vote, so they try to skate around as much as they can to keep everybody all inclusive. But in life, I've learned that there's nothing that you're going to be able to do that you're going to satisfy everybody. So I think that she should have just spoken to the issues at hand and dealt with it that way, and she probably would have come out ahead further than she is now because of that. But because of her trying to be a people pleaser, and somebody on her side probably told her, well, we're in a social media age, so you have to be popular on social media. Donald Trump, that's him. Like you said earlier, he's a reality star, so his whole focus is that. So he's not trying to, I don't even think he really cared. Like I told him earlier, I think that he did it just because he had the money, he was bored, let me run for president. Not realizing he'd get this far, got this far, and now he's like, oh, joke, I might win.
And one thing about Trump is that he does have his own money, so he can really do what he wants. One thing I do like about Trump is that he do what he wants. He's not moving towards nobody. He's not listening to what nobody say. He says what he says.
How about to say, he say what he said, and that's it.
But that shows you the power of economics, the power of having your own leverage. Right. You know, I think as a community, we need to have that power, because look at our athletes; they can't say nothing. Right. Unless they, like Lil Wayne said,
loses everything.
Stuff like that. We can say stuff like that. You know,
you can say ignorant stuff.
But when we really speak to our people and really speak for our issues,
you get shut down.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, make sure you stay tuned in. We have Minister Jonathan Whitfield in the building, and we're going to talk more about what he has done and also this presidential election. Stay tuned in. I hope you guys voted. It's WTNT's Q in the Streets.